Hey guys, this is like my third take for this video already, and I think I'm gonna try to be a little bit less of a perfectionist, otherwise these videos will take forever. Alright, so firstly, hi guys, I'm Adriel, welcome back to Battle Breakdowns, and thank you guys so much for the support, feedback, and all the plays that you've sent. Um, by the way, I'm gonna use this time to talk about the plays that you sent. It is completely fine if you send me plays which you consider suboptimal or completely terrible, it's fine. And the reason for that is because I believe that if you want to improve, sending me your plays and being able to break down and get to why you're losing and why you're failing will, in the end, carve a path for you to reach success. And every time you fail, you improve more and more because you're able to see what you're doing wrong and you can try and fix it. And so don't be afraid to send me your plays. Now, on to our play for the day. We have a 2v1, me on Raigon versus Freya and Esmo. And right here you can see my Jade has 15 health. And before I go into breaking down the video and analyzing it, I'm going to let you guys watch through the entire video once first, as requested from feedback. See you guys in a bit. Okay, so now that we've run through this once already, I'm now going to talk about the battle rights that I took. So, if you remember from the play the entire video that you just watched, I ran Riposte round 1, the stun on your parry, on the end of your parry, increased dash range, I believe it's called Retribution, and for the third battle right, I took Dragon Mastery, which is the ability to recast your Dragon Palm. And the reasoning for all these battle rights is straightforward. So I am facing a Freya and an Esmo who are both short range champions. So I want to use Riposte to be able to pressure them whenever they are in melee range. And with this Riposte up, there's a guaranteed stun at the end, as long as they're in ranged. It can also interrupt them if they're using, for example, a counter or a shield. And it also generally applies a lot of pressure whenever you know that a Raigon has a riposte, even though it doesn't do so much damage. It's like a guaranteed stun, sort of like a Rook's stun on his right click. Also, for the retribution on round 2, I take it because it gives me that much needed increased distance on your right click, which you can use as like a substitute gap closer. And I take this basically to close gaps way easier, to reach Esmo whenever I just need that little bit of space. And I find that the increased damage on like Heavenly Strike isn't necessarily needed. Personally, this is my preference. And on round 3, I take Dragon Palm Recast because I find it super flexible. As I show a few times in this video, you can use it to deal additional damage for some repositioning, and it is just generally very flexible in my opinion. Alright, so let's get started. Right here, my ally Jade passes away. And I apologize for the WhatsApp noises. I thought it was actually in my current recording, but it's apparently in during when I first recorded this video, so sorry about that. Alright, so my Jade passes away. I missed my E here, but it's completely okay in this circumstance because I force Freya to counter as well as Esmo to put up his arcane barrier. And so I just calmly use my Dragon Palm and I just grab the green orbs to deny the enemy that resource. And let me point out now that when I was doing this 2v1, I noticed that the score is already 2-0, right? By this point, I've already gathered how my opponent plays, and I sort of understand how they'll react to me. And because of that, when I was doing this 2v1, I was actually quite confident that I was going to win. And I'm not trying to sound arrogant, but I think confidence and being able to keep calm are going to be very important points um, in what is necessary to 2v1 successfully. So right here, I'm trying to trade with Freya. My riposte misses, but I'm okay with that, so I just back out and I try to get my cooldowns up again. Right now I have my spacebar. I'm in no hurry to burn any of them. Try to always be efficient with how you're trading. Notice that I am at full health right now, and the opponents are both at half. So I'm trying to deny them as many resources as possible while trying to stay ahead all the time. So here I charge up my EX Mouse 1, so I am ready to get in combat with them. I land my E, spacebar, and I try to time this perfectly so that when she returns from to the ground from my E, my spacebar will hit her at the exact frame that she's vulnerable again. So here's another 20 damage. She hops a bit late. She uses a spring a little bit late. And with my parry up, Esmo is sort of forced to make his Chaos Grip miss. And right now I'm right in front of Freya. I can sense that she is panicking. And you know she is panicking because she counters right here. Which does not work, and she forgets that I have riposte. So with my riposte ending, it stuns her, breaks her out of counter. Now she has no spacebar, she only has an E up. So I use 2 of my left clicks right here. Although it was kind of a waste. Wait, let's see, did I take any trade damage back from her? I took no damage here, did she hit me back? 10 damage, yeah. So she hit me once and I healed back that 10 health. So right now I'm full. I hit both her and the orb, so I got quite a good amount of healing even though I didn't really need it. So maybe I could have chose to not use that. But to be honest, there isn't much else that you can use Raigon energy for, because his ultimate isn't very good. So right here I use Dragon Palm to apply some damage and the snare, and I'm trying to push my opponents away from the orb. Because there are 2 of them, it is much easier for them to grab the orb than it is for me. So by zoning them with my Dragon Palm here, I actually baited the Esmo into greeding for the middle orb. He actually spaces in, and I recommend that you don't do this, because the spacebar on Esmo is very important. So he spaces in once, I right click to secure the orb. I miss my E, but right now Esmo has no space as well as arcane barrier. This is a mistake on my part. I should have continued punishing Esmo here because he has nothing right now. But I decided to space onto Freya, and I think I should have been punished a little bit harder for this, but somehow I get out of it okay. And right here I channel my ultimate, not because I predicted that she was going to ult me, but honestly I used my ultimate here because it was my only spell left, and I used it for an iframe. Fortunately for me, Freya actually uses her ultimate here, so I managed to dodge that. And right here, this is inefficient. Like at this point of time, I've already made a little bit of an inefficient trade, but the opponent has traded worse than me. Okay, let's see. So right here, when I'm applying some pressure onto Esmo, I use my parry as a response to his arcane barrier. Maybe that was not a good use of my parry because I simply used it for its stun component, which is not optimal. I could have used it to block something else. But I think because Esmo did not take the silence on his Chaos Grip, there weren't many projectiles that I needed to parry. So at this point of time, I thought it was fine to use that stun just to break him out of the arcane barrier. And maybe if I use my parry here, it might have been a bit better because I would have blocked a lot of damage. But here I managed to kill Freya. She throws a hammer at me here a little bit earlier while I'm using my riposte, and it bounces off. I had no idea she was going to throw a hammer at me, to be honest. So that misses completely. She hammers onto me, but she spaces onto me directly. I'm not sure if she had charged lightning battle right there. But basically she kinda doesn't know what to do here, I think. She should have sat back and waited and just kept poking me with her hammer. And because of her positioning, I can just right click and finish her off, and she underestimates my damage. Unfortunately, I lose the middle off here. I use my Dragon Palm to apply some damage and pressure the enemy Esmo. My second recast is wasted, but that's fine. I just force Esmo to burn his spacebar. I force him to burn it again, that's fine. I see him drop his ultimate here. Right here. So once I see him ultimate as a response, I'm just gonna wait patiently, wait until the runes fill up a little bit more, then I space away. And I use my one and only iframe, this is my ultimate, to dodge the damage of Esmo ulti. If he had silence there, he could have knocked me away and I would have been unable to cast my EXM1 this 1 second sooner. So it would have bought him a little bit more time. I use my E here and I successfully bait him into using his spacebar. So once I saw him do this, I knew that he was gonna be dead. Because if my E did land there, I think it would have outright killed him. Right here, he tries to go for the green orb, which is the correct decision. I think the enemy Esmo could have dipped out a little bit just to grab that green orb, that last green orb before the arena closes in. And so once I see that he has no spacebar remaining, I close the gap with my spacebar. Unfortunately, I miss my Heavenly Strike right here. I spaced in and I miss, unfortunately. And I see him put up his Arcane Barrier. I know he is going to put it up, so I'm just going to use my Riposte and just have the stun break him out of his barrier. There's nothing else he can do now. So once it stuns him, does some damage, he's at 1 health, I just hit him and kill him. Okay guys, that is my breakdown for today. It is a kind of quick and fast one. I hope you enjoyed the video. Feel free to leave me some feedback and let me know if you want the videos to be commentated during the first playthrough and any other general tips. Also, my next clip involves some really long rounds. It's like a 20-minute breakdown. And I'm unsure if you guys would rather me have the rounds split up into parts. So like I would have one video on part 1, part 2, and part 3. If I do it this way, it would take longer to get through some videos, but I can go much more in depth into those kind of long videos. And I mean super in depth. I could potentially go into the team comp, the battle rights, the team play, the individual skill. But right now I'm still currently considering whether I want to go into such a long video. And I want to see if you guys as the audience would prefer short and sweet analysis breakdowns like this. So thank you guys for stopping by. See ya!